Goody goody, everyone. This is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 37 of Shaman King '01. So, this episode begins with Yo and the gang getting dropped off to this town called Yonta Fe. And you get to see the boys getting a little bit frustrated. Ryu is still in pain after losing Lyzerg, and Ren and Horo were like, they're getting hungry, and Ren suggested Chinese food with Horo's like, I'm sick and tired of Chinese, and he wants to eat something else. So you get to see the boys getting frustrated because at this point they still don't know where Patch Village is. And after everything that's happened to them at this point, like, I wouldn't be surprised that they're feeling like frustrated and, I don't know, a little bit sad, in my opinion. And then someone is spying on them. And I realized that almost every single episode, Yo and the gang tends to get spied on so many times. It's becoming a trend. And it's later to be discovered to be Chocolove. So this is Chocolove's first official appearance. And he reveals that he's looking for people to join, and he also mentions there are more and more shamans forming their own group, and he is alone, and he figures we'll find this group of people look powerful enough, why not just ask and join, right? And he tries to get their attention, but he gets ignored. And eventually he gets the response, but he gets a nasty one, because you could see from their faces like, I have no time with you. And I think Horo mentions, I'm sick of Chinese. Ryu is like, Lyzerg, and Yo is, well, Yo. And so he eventually gets their attention again and tells them that more and more shamans are forming a group, yada yada yada. And then here comes the bad jokes. And every time someone talks and Chocolove says something the same but in a different tone, it's like, I have a tail, and Chocolove points out, oh, I have a tail right here as a book. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like that. And he tends to make people laugh that way, but unfortunately his jokes kind of suck. And so during the jokes, Chocolove mentioned Ren's name, which Ren never told him his name, and so Yo pointed that out, like, how did you know Ren's name? And he takes out his mini book saying that, oh, I done my research on you guys, I know your names, and he tells them the names except for Horo, because instead of Horo he says Boro, which he got pissed off. And then he introduces his guardian spirit, Mike the Jaguar, and of course Ren is not having it. Like, he looks weak, so why would we need someone like you to be in our group? And then they try to leave. Then next you know, a situation presented itself, where apparently two thugs comes out from the bar, and they, you know, and Chocolove figures, this is the perfect opportunity to test, to show them my strength. So instead of fighting them, he fought them with a joke, which ended up pretty badly because he got beaten pretty bad. And then, as he's laying unconscious, we get to see a flashback, a little bit of his backstory. Uh, it was in the middle of the city, and there was a situation where a gunman had someone at gunpoint, so police surrounded, and then you see this old man, and Chocolove was there too, and he just walks into that situation, and and of course the gunman was like, "What the hell are you doing? I have this person on gunpoint. I could shoot this person. You need to stay back." And the old man just like brushed it off and tells the gunman a joke. And then afterward, the man got arrested, and he was laughing so hard, and the police thanked the old man, and it leads into the camp, and it was discovered that the old man and Chocolove were homeless, and it's a sad scene because the old man was talking. We don't get to know his name in the show, in this episode, but he was telling that the way to save the world is through laughter. And the number one theme of this episode is called The Wind of Laughter. And he was talking that people are getting too violent, full of rage, hatred to their hearts, and the only way to stop this evil is to use, quote unquote, the wind of laughter. Only laughter can save the world. And his final words were, I'm giving you Mike to you, and please save the world by using the power of laughter. And he passed away. And then Chocolove comes to, and you get to see him lying on a bench while the boys were eating, like, what it looked like was Chinese buns. And Jorge was like, we didn't want to leave you on the floor, unconscious and all that. So we took you here in this park, but that doesn't mean that you officially join us. And Yo asked Chocolove, like, what's your reason for joining this tournament? And he said that I want to become Shaman King, and I want to become the king of comedians, the king of jokes. And everybody just like spill all their food, and then all three boys minus Yo was yelling and screaming like, are you joking right now? Like, what kind of lame dream? But then you have Jorge's dream that is also lame, so I wouldn't say anything Jorge, to be fair. And Chocolove was explaining about the power of laughter and all that, but not before the boss appears out of nowhere, and they try to attack the team, but luckily Ren stepped forward and beats them not once but twice. But something weird was going on with them, because after the second beatdown, they just mysteriously gets up and wanting more. And it's later to be discovered that the balls were being controlled by two spirits. And the guy, the leader that comes, calls his name is Peyote Diaz, and he is a shaman that uses two mariachi spirits and calabella dolls, or more skeleton dolls. And you usually get those dolls during the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. And Ren was explaining that Poyote is using the boss as mediums. So they're pretty much the balls are unconscious, but they're being controlled by those two spirits, along with these spirit dolls, the skeleton dolls, and you see them all laughing and all that stuff. So it's kind of creepy. um, let's see. And so Poyote is using them as oversouls and as skeleton dolls. And so Chocolove came in and shows everybody what the power of laughter can do. So instead of beating them up as Ren was intended to, because if Ren decides to beat them up some more, they could die. So Chocolove used his oversoul to recreate this stone, not stone, but this I think one of the seven wonders of the world in Australia. I forgot the name of it, but there's like a hidden joke in there involving his belly button, whatever, and everybody was like, "What the hell is this like a?" It's a bad joke, but then apparently, Poyote's spirits were were laughing, and when it started to laugh, he was starting to lose control, and so his oversoul got depleted, but then Ryu and Horo just blasted them off again. They gave the boss and Poyote the Team Rocket blasting off again. And yeah, it was really impressive. And what I can also remember after the fight, I'm not sure if it was after the fight or the next day, later on, sorry, we get to see Chocolove's former master watching over him, like he still have much to learn, but he's getting there. Please take care of him, Mike. And Mike just gives him a wink and a meow, and then he goes away, which is, to me, it was kind of beautiful. And so after the battle, Chocolove is officially part of the team and tells everybody, I have some information. I know where Patch Village is. And of course, everybody was like, really? You know where it is? And he turned it into a joke, so you could, like, it's another lie. And then you could see Ryu and Horo's eyes turn like mighty white, and as he was about to get beat up, he mentions that there is a woman named Lily Laura who lives in this town. If we can find her, she will help us and point us to the right direction. And it's like, oh, okay, we got something. But Chocolove had to end it, had the episode with another joke, and you get to see everybody just like giving him the evil eye in a way, and they're chasing him around in the middle of the road. That was kind of funny. And the episode ends where Anna and her team arrive in America, and Anna was wondering where Manta is. And little did they know that Manta is with Faust, and you see Manta all shocked and petrified, and it leads them to them, Anna and Faust talking, and the same thing. Like Faust is looking for people, and he can't find Eliza or something about those lines. I forgot, but Anna tells Faust that I have the power to bring her back, but in exchange, you're gonna help Yo. That's the deal. And that's the end of that episode. I have to say, I enjoyed this episode very much. I mean, after everything that went down, having Chocolove with his dumb jokes, I think will bring the spirits up even further. Because after everything that went down with Lyserg and all the recent deaths, like, I mean, they need something, you know? And I forgot to mention too, there is a scene with Lyserg and Marco. And if you have already seen the reboot of the last episode, it's a similar scene, except those two are somewhere in X-Law headquarters, because you get to see the cross and everything. And Lyserg is feeling all depressed and I'm weak, I can't be strong. And Marco is like, don't worry, we can help you become strong. And you will get to see our leader, which is the Iron Maiden. And you see Marco patting Lyserg's hair and all that stuff. So I forgot to mention that, but you know. But other than that, I mean, I enjoyed it, you know. And it's kind of sad to get to see a little bit of Chocolove's backstory. We don't know anything before that, but it's kind of sad. But him traveling around America, giving the gift of laughter, even though his jokes are terrible, he reminds me a whole lot of Naruto and Kamen Rider Arc Zero, because he was an entertainer. He's a comedian before he became president of Aiden. When he tries to joke around, and he ends with Alto ja, Alto da Saito, something like that. There's an eerie silence, the same way Chocolove gets every time he finishes his joke. The difference is Aruto doesn't get beat up. Chocolove does. Other than that, I think that's it. I mean, I hope you enjoy my review / recap of this episode. I hope to see you all again in the next video. And please give me comments. Give me something to improve. I'm trying my best to find ways to improve. But I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. I'm not tech savvy, but I'm kind of learning as I go along. I'm doing my best, but you know, it's kind of fun for me in a way. Please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Okay, be safe everyone. Johnny!